Alright, so in this video I'm going to talk about the proof of reincarnation. So reincarnation is a person beginning a new life after death. We aren't just given one life to live. The pioneer in reincarnation research is Dr. Ian Stevenson at the University of Virginia. For 40 years he traveled around the world studying young children's spontaneous memories of past lives. From these cases they could derive principles of reincarnation. One of the principles is that they have the same personalities and talents and can look exactly like they did in their past incarnations. Barbara Carlin is one case of reincarnation. She was born 9 years after Anne Frank died. When she was a child, she said her name was Anne Frank. She had spontaneous memories of her past life of Anne Frank. Her parents didn't even know who this Anne Frank was because the diary of Anne Frank was not yet published. So her parents thought she was making it all up. What makes her case compelling is not that she has the same facial features of Anne Frank at the age of 10 years old, but her parents took her to Amsterdam. Her father wanted to go see the Anne Frank Museum. Somehow, when they got there, even though Barbara has never been there before, she went straight to the Anne Frank house. So when they were there inside the Anne Frank house, Barbara was like, "Mommy, look, the pictures of movie stars are still on the wall." Her mom looked at the wall and said, "Barbara, there's nothing there." The tour guide said, "Actually, the pictures of Anne Frank, the pictures that Anne Frank had clipped out of magazines of movie stars had actually been on the wall." That was the first time her parents realized her past life memories were actually true. Because this is information she would have never have known. Because she had never been to Amsterdam before. When she first told her parents about Anne Frank, the diary of Anne Frank wasn't even published yet. So, and there's many, many stories like this from children remembering their past lives. So, Barbara then became a childhood writing prodigy, just like Anne Frank had her first book published at the age of 12. This is just one proof of reincarnation out of hundreds, if not thousands. These kids end up knowing things they shouldn't. That's plenty of proof. Even kids being too young to read anything like this either. So for example, there could be like a 5-year-old boy, he has past lives of being a pilot, and then his parents will look up this information about a pilot, and the kid got the name of the pilot right, and got many exact details correct about being a pilot, even knowing things about how to fly a plane. So, with this proves the law of one to be true, which is that we evolve through the 7 densities of consciousness, or soul evolution, before we merge back in with the Creator. The first density being that of water, air, fire, and earth. The second density, plant life, trees, and late second density being animals, but it could take millions of years of reincarnating before you could graduate into another density. But each density has a different time frame. So the third density is 75,000 years. All right, so the second density being that of animals, the third density being the choosing we humans have to make, either choosing service to self or service to others. So we've reincarnated into our human lives many times, sometimes on other planets, and sometimes you could incarnate on other planets many times and then transfer to Earth. So for example, this could be my third, according to a channeling session that I had, it said that I was on Mars until mid-third density, and then it's no longer inhabitable. So then I transferred to Earth, and now I'm on my third life on Earth, and so I wasn't at least 51% service to others yet, but on this lifetime I'm going to hit 51% service to others. So that I could evolve into the 4th density consciousness. And so to evolve to the 4th density positive, but that's positive. So if you choose service to others and be at least 51% positive, which is 51% service to others, then you could evolve to the fourth density positive. But in rare cases, some people become 95% negative to evolve to the fourth density negative of demons or negative entities, which is extremely hard to do. They would basically have to kill, rape, and steal their entire lives to accomplish that. They can't evolve past fifth density negative. Well, some could be early, the early density, the early sixth density negative, but then to evolve any further past that, then they have to switch over to the positive side to continue their evolutionary journey. So can't evolve past the fifth density or like early sixth density. So they would have to then switch over to the positive side anyways if they want to evolve any further. The fourth density positive is that of love, compassion, and understanding. Think of Martin Luther King Jr. and the life of Jesus, showing perfect love and compassion. These beings are that of the positive polarity of fourth density. And there's positive fourth density entities on other planets, so positive density aliens, but they're good. Just like we have angels and positive density alien life surrounding our planet, protecting our planet. So we're safe. So it's nothing to be like afraid of. All right, so the fifth density is that of light and wisdom, also known as the council, which are the angels. The sixth density is that of the balance of the love and the light, the balance of the masculine and the feminine of God. So the masculine being the wisdom and the light, and the feminine being the love and the compassion. That together is, the perfect balance of God. So God is both masculine and feminine. The sixth density is also a part of the council of angels and the higher self. Ra, the angel who channeled the law of one, is of sixth density soul evolution from Venus. So it's a fifth, sixth density planet, but the core density is of sixth density. So they're fifth, sixth density beings on Venus as of 1981. And that's who is channeling this. So it's an angel, the angel of Ra. So there's been people that have had near-death experiences explaining oneness, that the entire universe is one being. So that's how you could describe oneness and understand it better, that the entire universe is just one being, and which is God. So God is just one being, which is the entire universe. And there's an infinite number of universes and experiences and souls, and so we're just one cell in the body of God. So they described it as just looking like just an oval, just like this, one being. And so we are all God. We are all part of God. God is the entire universe. So proof of reincarnation. Proof of the law of one. The law of one talks about the reincarnation. And it talks about the 7 densities of consciousness and how this world works, how this universe works, how everything works. It's exciting. Like when you read the Bible, it's kind of boring, and then you're like, okay, if God is all-knowing and all-powerful, and God is the God of this universe, and this is it? Like, I used to think that when I read the Bible, I'm like, this is it? This is God, and there's nothing like too exciting about it. But then when you read the law of one, you read one page and you're like, oh my gosh, this is so exciting. Like, I want to read more and more and more. And it's just like mind-blowing information. You'll be blown away when you read the book. And I'll make a bunch of videos on it. So I'll read the book again, and I'll just make some videos on it so you guys could understand it better. But it's just like amazing information. Sometimes I could read one page and I'm just blown away, and